Hello, welcome to Art and Design. My name is Torgeir, and this is a normal texture brush. But you see a problem, right? Let me show you. It's here and here. The problem is that it repeats. The same texture appears here. We have a repeating pattern happening at all of these points. This, on the other hand, is a dual textured brush. So you can see the texture here is starting to repeat, but if I just press a little bit harder down, I can introduce a second texture into the mix. So we can create a seamless blend between multiple textures and create a dynamic scene. So check this out. This doesn't look like it's repeating. There are repeating patterns once you look closely, but they are way less pronounced compared to using a single textured brush pack. It's available on artanddesign.tv, and in this video I'm going to show you all of the brushes that are available in this brush pack, just to give you an idea of what you can create with this brush pack. Now at the end of the video I'll show you how you can get access to a sample of this brush pack so you can try it out for yourself. So without further ado, let's dive into the brushes and see why I like them so much. So to start with, we have two versions of the brush pack. One is for light backgrounds and one is for dark backgrounds. Just note that if you have a dark background, just choose the dark background pack. If you have a light background, choose the light background pack. So if I change it to white, for example, and I choose the light background here and then I paint with it, you can see it looks right. So that's the main reason. All right, so let's start from the top. Berg is these volcanic rocks from Iceland, and they are intersected with this porous volcanic rock. So this is like when you zoom into one of these rocks very much and you take a macro image, you see this. This is the vapor chambers from the magma where the gases are releasing from within the rock. So if I'm going too much into geology here, it just means that you can create these nice looking rocky textures and then give it this little bit of edge, this little bit of harshness in areas that you like. So you can sort of break up the texture pattern here with that. So that's Berg. Mountain rocks are similar to Berg. They are just a little bit more stone-like and a little bit more porous. You can see the pores in the rock itself in the main texture. So this is the main texture. I'm drawing lightly here. If I press hard down, you see we can bring a little bit of the mountain moss, this Icelandic mountain moss, into the picture. Now you can obviously have like color selected in order to get some different effects here. Depends on your creativity, how you want to use the brush pack in order to get the desired effect. This can be used for backgrounds, this can be used for textures on objects. The next one is called Rocky, and if I draw lightly, you can see it's this rocky beach sand. It has a little bit of these pebbles in it and sand. Some of the stones are sunken into the sand. If you press a little bit hard down, you can very, very much break up this pattern because it intersects. Let's see, it's this very broken mountain rock. These are all pictures from Iceland, which is why it's called Iceland, but it's this broken mountain rock, cracked texture. And obviously you can take this and you can do something like bloom to make this stand out a little bit more. And the next one is called River. And river is, as you guessed it, a river. So if you choose a bluish color, I think this looks like a river. You can see the type of color this is. Now I probably want to make this a little bit brighter, more saturated. So let me just do that. Something like that. You might want to bump up the brightness, maybe change the hue. There we go. Something like that. Now this is an actual river from Iceland, and might want to create some froth here and there. So again, if you want to create non-repeating patterns, you just press a little bit harder down and you get that. You get one seamless texture that doesn't seem to repeat. It does, but it's way less perceivable. As you can see, this is an entire picture full of texture, and can you see the repeating pattern? It's very hard to see, but it's there. Now I'm actually looking for it. Wait, no, maybe, no. That kind of proves that it does the job. The next one is called the Rocky River, and that's similar. It's a river texture. If you're trying to create like the distinction between the shore and the ground, you can create the river and then the pebbles. Now, obviously, depending on your creativity, you can very much color this in any way that you feel makes sense. Reason why I keep saying that depends on your creativity is because you're the artist, you have the vision, and this is just a tool that you can use in order to create seamless textures in your artworks, to create different kinds of effects without spending the time on drawing every single pixel, which some people like to do. That's fantastic, but I like making tools, and this is one of the things that I think these brushes are so good at. I think it's delightful to use these brushes because they surprise you. They come up with a weird twist. You're expecting to do something, but then you're sort of forced into a different direction. So you can either undo or you can work with it and see. If I just do the main brush, you can see it looks like this. But if I press a little bit harder down, you get cracks in the rocks. I love this brush pack. And I really, really love this brush. This one comes out really, really good. I should probably make more brushes like this. You see the shadows are identical. These brushes were made as an artwork. Each brush is an artwork on itself. They're commercially free. If you buy the brushes, you can make products from this. You can put these on t-shirts. You can do whatever you want with it. You just can't sell the brush pack directly yourself. If you want to do that, then please reach out to me directly. Anyway, so mountain moss, it's this very famous Icelandic mountain moss. Press harder down, you get called in Icelandic krækiberjalyng. And krækiberjalyng is this sort of plant. This is probably the size of this leaf here, and very delicious berries grow on these and smell fantastic. Every kid in Iceland has a very fond memory of these. Lava rocks, these are similar to the top ones, the Berg and mountain rocks, but these are specifically mountain volcano rocks, and you can use them in combination or in conjunction with the other brushes, however you like. Maybe marble is sort of a marbly looking texture. If you're trying to create a marble looking effect, you can use this to create a seamless marble texture. And whenever you see this repeating pattern, draw a little bit harder, and then it kind of breaks the illusion. So that's maybe marble. Next one is winter glass, and it kind of looks like this. It's a lake that has frozen over, and if you press a little bit harder down, you get a different texture of the same lake, so you can create seamless textures. There's so many possibilities that you could use this for. Anything from using them as textures in your existing artworks, or creating unique artworks from the texture that took a few seconds, and now you could technically sell this as an artwork, or put this on a t-shirt, or use this in different ways to create a different texture. There's so many ways that you can use these brushes for, which is why I like them so much. Next one is sand, and sand is sand. So if you do need a sand texture that doesn't repeat too obviously, you can use this one. Press a little bit harder down, you get a little bit darker areas, lighter areas, so on and so forth. A little bit of sand, press harder down, it changes the texture. Pretty cool. And the last one is Stuðlaberg. Stuðlaberg is this sort of column formation. It's like hexagonal columns that form in rocks in Iceland. They're in a couple of different places. They're fantastic, beautiful to see in person. And I wanted to capture these as a brush, so you can paint with Stuðlaberg. It looks like this. And if you press harder down, you can create cracks in the texture. If you do end up making a product or video or whatever from these brushes, I would love to hear about it. Tag me on Instagram or wherever it is that you're making them. Shoot me a line at info@artanddesign.tv. So that's probably the best way to reach me. And if you want to try it out, if you want to get access to the sample brush pack, simply go to artanddesign.tv, go shop brushes. You should be able to find Iceland brush pack, Naturescape, Icelandic textures, and below the add to cart you see try a free sample pack. Click on that, you'll be prompted to log in, and then you can download them. Every single sample pack that I make takes time for me to create. Every single brush that I create takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I put a lot of love into every single brush that I make. If you want to get the entire brush library, we do have the complete artist collection for $49. You get access to all 7 premium brushes, and also to the Brush Lab Pro, which is an application that allows you to create custom textures for your brushes. So you can, instead of getting these default Procreate textures, you can actually edit the textures and replace them with images, your own images. If you want your custom brush to look different than the rest of the market, you can check this out. You put a custom image, you can change the text, you can change the website. To put your own website, you can add effects to it. And when you save it and you export it, this becomes your new brush pack. So going all the way up the top, you see you have a custom thumbnail with your brush. In the grain itself, if you want to have higher resolution textures than Procreate officially supports, you can click on the edit textures and you can replace these 2K resolution textures, which are 2000 by 2000 pixels. That's the maximum that Procreate officially supports. And you can put up to like 8K resolution. I've even put 16K resolution, but you have to be on a PC to do that because the memory on the iPad can't do the calculation, because this is all performed in the browser. You're not sending anything to artanddesign.tv. This is a web application. It's an application that runs in your browser. So you're not sending me your brushes. I never get to see anything that you make with this unless you share it with me directly. So if you want to check this out, go to artanddesign.tv and you can check out the complete artist collection, get access to all 7 premium brushes. The Brush Lab Pro is included, and lifetime of updates for every single brush pack. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.